Harper's bizarre.
Yeah, Harper's bizarre. We're hearing all kinds of stories and rumors. Nightingale says it's a lock. He's going to Philly. Now we're hearing the White Sox are.
Well, I want to hear from
involved.
Chelsea because she was one of the first ones, I think, to break the story on the Nats offer and how that all came about. Tell us about that.
It sounds like they were talking for a while, and this is what the Nats came up with. And from what I understand, they didn't really hear either way from Bryce and Boras, but that's sort of we're going to go to free agency. And it seems like they're on good terms, So I think it is still crazy to me to say the sentence, the Washington Nationals offered what would be the biggest free agent contract in sports history, but they did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't really argue with that, I think, but will it be enough? Probably not, but they did that, and that is not something I ever thought I'd see them do.
Right. Now, is this something that you had to really seek out, or did someone there leak it to you because they wanted it to sort of get out there? Because I'm wondering, did they really think he was going to even come close to accepting this, or is this just sort of
saving face
almost, their due diligence? Let's make an honest effort, but they deep down knew, right? A couple days before free agency or whatever, he's not going to accept it.
Right. Yeah, I would say no one seemed too upset that it was out there. The best way I can put it. I expected that all along because it's just to let people know that they tried, especially with an offer that big. And I think it wasn't as surprising that it got out there as sort of the reaction. It seemed like everybody involved is. On the baseball side, I don't really know what fans think, but was like, yeah, that's respectful. That's, Scott Boras, I think he used that word too. And so it's just kind of a real genuine effort. And, surprisingly well handled so far by everybody involved.
Was there any part of this contract that included deferred money?
Haven't been able to tell.
Okay.
But I would be stunned if it didn't.
Okay. Now, what about the opt-outs? If there was opt-outs, you reported there was no opt-outs, but if there were, is that something that you think Bryce would have considered, or was the money just not high enough?
I'm sort of the belief that he was going to become a free agent either way. I think the opt-outs will come into play once he sees what the market has to offer, because if someone's offering those, why not, right? If the money's the same, why not? But it sounds like the Nats aren't going to give a lot of those, down the line. It sounds like the Lerners are not comfortable with them, and they gave them to Steven Strasburg. That was an extension. I think, there was maybe a little bit of a discount there and whatever, but I don't think they're going to be reaching on free agents who say, I want an opt-out after 2 and 4 and 6. It sounds like they want people to commit, and that's actually a fair argument. It's just the rest of baseball has not come to that conclusion yet.
So who knows what to believe now, because you're hearing all these stories and rumors from different reporters. And, like I said, Nightingale says now it's a lock that he's going to go to Philly. He says he has no inside information. That's just his guess. And now you're hearing, the Dodgers are still involved. The Giants apparently are involved. They just hired a new GM, so maybe they make a splash.
We read a report that the White Sox want to be involved.
And now the White Sox apparently, Reinsdorf is interested in both Bryce and Machado. So what are you hearing now? What's your next best guess?
I would say that my expectation for this all along is that everybody will be involved at some point, even sort of off-the-wall candidates. There will be a mystery team, and from what I understand, they're meeting with pretty much everybody. So I don't think anyone should hear interested in and think, oh, my gosh, no way, the White Sox want both of them. Yeah, sure, the Nationals want both of them, but it's a question of, can they get that deal done? Can they really come up with that kind of money, whatever. So, that's sort of not surprising to me. I think you look at the money, right? Who's going to be able to give $30 million for 10 years, which is where the bar is now set? Mm-hmm. Is it the Phillies thing? If they don't get Machado, sure, that makes sense. I don't know that it's a lock, and I, heard a lot of people laugh off the idea that they'll go after both guys. The Cardinals were the fashionable pick this week, and I just feel like that's a really interesting destination for Bryce. The Giants make a lot of sense. I don't know that the Dodgers want to spend. People are going to talk the Yankees into that argument. But for me, the most interesting part of this so far is, if you'd asked me even before last year, who are they going to be kind of the top three bidders, I would have said Dodgers, Cubs, Yankees, everyone you
Right.
expect. And it's not. I don't think they're going to be as flexible financially. I think
why
they're
am I
going
not hearing the Cubs? I'm not really hearing them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it just doesn't seem – first of all, they have no history really of success with those kind of deals. They gave Jason Hayward a lot of money, and he's been fine, but not, that. So I don't know. It just – from what I understand, those guys don't want to spend. And all of this is very early, but I would say it's going to be maybe some of the big market teams that aren't the biggest market teams